Hello guys and girls, this is Sunday the 8th of January. It's currently 8 degrees. I thought I'd come out and have a look around today to see what's going on. These were the cordlines, I think they're called the pink ones. They come under different names, the pink ones. I left them under the canopy there and fleeced up, but they never survived. I knew that they were a bit more tender, but I had them for a couple of years actually, so they've gone. I had a quick peek at the canary date palms. They seem to be okay. The big ones seem to be okay. Obviously I know that we'll find out in the summer. I unwrapped the Torbay Dazzler, and it was under this canopy and it's fleeced up and it's obviously got damage. The good thing is I don't think the centre, I've been having a little tug, nothing seems to be soft there, so that may survive during the summer. Everything else seems to be okay around here. I just moved that younger Fortunei out of the way. The other young Fortunei is okay. Again, the canary date palms there looks okay. Unfortunately, these larger cordlines have had it. They've got damage in the middle, and I believe that will be it. Both of them actually. The red star's still here. This is one of my original ones. Obviously I showed you before these. This one here, another red star. I just moved my Chamaerops over this side because this is south facing, it gets a bit more sun. And as I walk along here, obviously this is another cordline. A lot of cordlines are gone, apparently on the Facebook groups, all the cordlines are collapsed. This is another large one. Unfortunately this is gone. This had a spear pull. I had a little tug in the middle and it came out. And the same is for this other large cordyline over here. This has got damage in the middle. I haven't been able to pull it out yet. It's a shame. Japonica there's got some, if I go around here, it's got a bit of damage because of the frost on the leaves here. Frost damage. That red star I've had for years. I've cleared out the back here, I moved things around. I've moved some of the palms to the left hand side as the south facing, get some warmth. This Japonica has got a bit of frost damage. I unwrapped this Torbay Dazzler just now, and I unwrapped that Torbay Dazzler. Now, and it's strange that the Torbay Dazzler that's under that canopy all wrapped up has got more damage than the ones that are outside here. So it's obviously a bit more of a microclimate, I guess, because of the back fence and the side fence. I just unwrapped it. I left all the cords there, so if we get another bit of frost and stuff, I can re-wrap them. But I just wanted to get them just to see what it's like, and obviously get a bit of heat on them, because this is south facing. But that one, excuse me, had a spear pull. That big one over there will have one, and the two big cordlines over there have had it. Watch this space for this. At least the cordlines aren't the most expensive plants you can buy. It's just a case of how long it takes. I'm not going to. I read on Facebook groups that it may sprout from the bottom, from the roots, or again from a trunk somewhere, and give it some years. It'll grow. I ain't got to wait. Life's too short for that. I've already ordered a couple of 4-foot cordlines yesterday, Saturday. I ordered 2. They're quite a good price, £40. I just want to see what they're like, really. So I know what to do next time we get a cold snow. I think we all know what to do with cold snow, even though these are reputedly really hardy. It's a case of it was the duration. I didn't believe I had to cover them up because I've had cordlines for a number of years. But again, they're not the most expensive of the plants you can buy. It's just a case if you grow them from small, it takes years to get them to a decent size. I've just don't want to wait. So I've ordered a couple from, I can't remember the company. There's 4 foot for £40. I thought that's quite reasonable. So I just want to see what they're like. If they're no good or whatever, then obviously I know not to order any more. But I've also ordered some more palms because I'm getting ready. The stones are coming tomorrow apparently from the front and back, and yeah, some Fortunei. So we shall see. So just a quick run down the garden. I've not been out in the garden for a bit because it's been wet. The ferns are doing okay. They've got some have got a bit of frost damage on them. I'm waiting to replant them in the centre there, and in the corners 1 and 2. Hasn't when I replaced, but I may look into the that one they were spear pulled. I may look into the chemical that you can pour in. I'll look at that up and see if that will help, because it's a shame really. They're quite large. So that's it for today. Just a quick look around. Yeah, it's, you know, like more serious things in life, isn't there? We're all learning. I think this is my first winter, but I've had cordlines for a number of years on the back fence. Beast from the east, I think that we had, and the 2010 winter, but I don't remember this never had this damage before. It's just everything looks so sorry for itself. But I've put everything that's reasonably okay on the left hand side there. In fact, I may put the other Torbay Dazzler there because you get the sun on it, get some warmth on it to get the south facing. So that's why I moved the Chamaerops that was on the back fence over there, and I had a Fortunei, a smaller one, on the back fence. I moved next to the Waggy over there, so the sun's on it, gets a bit of warmth. Okay, so that's it for now. As I said, I've already made plans to replace a couple of Cordlines. I've just ordered some more, a couple of Fortunei and 2 more Chamaerops, so I can sort out there and the front, but I'm not going to do that till the ground's warmer, but I've got them anyway. And also just I noticed that the spider's web, Japonica spider's web, collapsed and all the leaves fell off. So I think what I've read is that that will just come back up. So anyway, look, the sun's out. So take care. Catch you next time. Any comments, please leave. Gratefully received. This is a learning curve. I think everyone's learned about this recent cold snap with the old Cordlines. I have been around. I passed a pub last week. It had a row in front. It had a row about 6 or 7 Cordlines, but they've all collapsed. So anyway, I'll take care. I'll catch you next time. So it's Sunday the 15th of January, and well, I've got my delivery of stones. My delivery of stones. I'm waiting for the landscaping bloke to sort that out. But also, as I said in the previous bit of video, I ordered a couple of more Cordlines to replace the ones that are gone. Can't remember the name of the company, but they're £39. Now we are expecting another bit of a chill this week, -3s, so I'm going to move these. I can't remember the name of the company. I've got a feeling that because so many Cordlines have been damaged, there'll be a big demand on Cordlines, and the prices I reckon will go up. I've had some bad news on these ones. As you can see, they got damage. This one had a pull on it. This one had a spear pull. This one not quite yet. And the one down there and the one down there have had some spear pulls. So I expect the worst. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to tie them up. I've ordered some Peroxide. I'm going to try doing that when it arrives. I thought it was going to arrive yesterday, today being Sunday, but hasn't arrived yet. So I'm going to tie those ones up and these ones up. My redstar, this one here, which I've had for donkey's years, looks okay, but it's a bit wobbly. So I'm going to tie that up as well. Yeah, currently it's 6 degrees, but the weather, and look, washing. The weather is -2s, -3s next couple of days, so I'm going to prepare what I can. Okay. Now this Chamaerops unfortunately had a spear pull as well. What I'm doing, I'm putting, just trying to dry it out because it's wet in there. So I have ordered some Peroxide and see what happens, but it's got 2 trunks on here, so this side may die. But I'm just drying it out, and I'll put it under the canopy. So what I ended up doing is that the two new ones that I had against the wall, which I got the other day, I've actually tied them up as you saw, and I've actually now fleeced them under this canopy, because I really don't know if they were brought up, grown in nice warm greenhouses or whatever. So so I've done that. They're the two new ones, ones with the pebbles in. The two larger ones that are over here, I don't know if it's too late or anything, but I made sure that it was dry. I dried the inside where the spear pool was. I dried that out and wrapped them all together and fleeced them on the canopy. I don't know if it's too late. Is it too late? Too late to save them? That's all I can do really. I'll give them the peroxide treatment when I get it, and then dry it out again. So they're all here. And what I'm going to do with the two large ones, they're about 5 foot tall. That's definitely spear pulled. That one's coming. That spear pulled yesterday. So obviously they're on their way out. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to dry out the centre where the pool was, and I'm going to put something in there, like a bit of bubble wrap, to stop the water coming in. Possibly tie them up, but I don't know if it's too late. Is it too late to do that? Also, in the corner I had the Torbay Dazzlers that are wrapped up. I'm going to rewrap them, and one of the Torbay Dazzlers, I might as well show you, this is how I'm coping. I've never done. So this Torbay Dazzler here was under the canopy wrapped up, and it's really got frost damage, but everything seems to be secure. The two that are over here, they were outside wrapped up in the fleece, got a little bit of frost damage, but everything seems to be okay. So I'm going to rewrap them. Obviously this must be a little microclimate here, because they were okay. And the other Torbay Dazzler I'm going to put with them. Yes, that's what I'm going to try and do. So we've got this, and see if I can just save them. So this cordline I spear pulled the other day, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see where the water is sitting in. That's where the rot is, isn't it? So I just want to, what I'm doing now, I just want to dry it out, and then stick some bubble wrap or something in it to keep it dry. And then I'll put the peroxide in and see if it saves it. Can only try, any comments on that would be great. What I've done, I just put a bit of bubble wrap in there, so hopefully I'll keep it dry. I forced it way in there. Obviously when it rains it's going to come down here, but I'm just hoping to keep it dry. And I don't know if it's too late to save. Any comments on that? Am I wasting my time? I don't know what else to do. It's a shame really, because this is quite a large one. And the great thing, I think I said this before, the great thing about Cordlines, are not the most expensive, but I think next year, coming up, or this season, because so many Cordlines have died or on their way out, I think there'll be a big demand, and then I think the prices will increase. But I've ordered those two that you saw earlier on, and they were £39 each. I thought it was quite reasonable. So anyway, I've got to do the other one now. So I don't know if you can see now, but it's completely dry now, so I've got to try to keep that dry. See, on this second one, the rot's in there. It's not ready to pull. It's not as wet as the other one, but I've got to clean it out, dry it out. So just to recap today, what I wanted to do is I've rewrapped the Torbay Dazzlers. The one on the right here, as you saw previously, was kept under a canopy but had a lot of frost damage. These two seem to be okay in this corner, because I guess it's a microclimate in there. So I rewrapped those. The big one over here, which did have a spear pull, I managed to dry it out and put some bit of bubble wrap down there to keep the water out of that root. I've ordered the peroxide. I'll put some in there and see if that helps. Any comment? Do you think it's worth bothering with? I don't know. And the second one, which I've done, I dried that out. Actually, that wasn't as wet, that one, but it is more droopy than the first one. This one's definitely more droopy, but it wasn't as wet. But again, I put some. I don't think you can see it. I don't know, but let me say put some sort of like bubble wrap in it to keep that bit dry. Again, I'll put some peroxide in there and see if it helps. But this one's definitely more droopy than the other one. It's a shame if these go. I'm not going to wait until it regrows, because it takes ages and life's too short. I actually got them from a local garden centre. So that's what I managed to do. I also managed, if I walk this way, the Chamaerops that I had a spear pull. I've actually put under this canopy on the other side. Forgive my washing. That one there, I dried that out, and that's a twin head. So, and also I found a bag where the stones came in, so I put that over the top of there's 4 of them, 4 cordlines. Maybe I should have done it at the beginning. I think no one knew really how these cordlines were handled this weather. Like everybody else, the red stars are all gone. These are, I think my 4, the 2 in the corner there, and the 2 that were here, I've now moved over here. I think they're probably gone, but I'll do what I can. Got 2 new ones which I reordered. As I said, I can't remember the name of the company. And see what happens. Any comments on that? You think I'm wasting my time? I think it's just the horse was bolted, as they say. So I found this bag in the garage, forgot, so I put it on the top. But I've learned for next year, if we get a cold that lasts ages and ages, is to protect them. I don't think anyone realised it at the time. But everything else, I touched all the Fortunei and the Waggies. I've had a pull at the spears, they seem to be okay, but I believe by reading and listening on YouTube, it may be some months before I know if there's any damage on it. So it's a nice day to potter around, really. It's 7 degrees where I am. So that's it, really. That's my update on this so far. Thus far. So today's Tuesday the 17th, and my delivery of the hydrogen peroxide has arrived. It arrived this morning. So now what I'm going to treat a couple of cordylines. Now, as I said in a previous clip, I don't know if the horse is bolted and it's too late, but I'm going to give it a go. And also Chamaerops had a pull, so I'm going to pour some in there and see what happens. Last night went down to -5, and we're going to have some minus nights for the next few days. So I'm going to cover up the larger cordlines now as well. Again, I don't know if it's too late, but I'm going to have a go anyway. So yeah, so there's the peroxide, and I'm going to have a little poke at have a go at the cordlines. So this is the first one I'm going to have a go at. I did dry it out the other day, and what I've done, I stuck some, you see, bubble wrap to keep it dry. So I'm just pulling that out. It's the bubble wrap. I don't know if there's any water now. I'll dry it out. Have a look. So there it is. It should be dry. So I'm going to put some in there and see what happens. So I poured some down there. I don't think you can see it, but on YouTube I saw it should be bubbling. But because it's dry, I took the water out. That's probably my bubble. So I put it in there. So I guess I'll leave it in there, and I'll go to the other one. Now this other one is definitely more droopy than the other one. Again, in the middle here, I put bubble wrap in it just to keep the water out. As you can see, it's all rotten there. So let me take that out. So I've taken the bubble wrap out for the second one, and it's bone dry in there. And you can see there's all the rot stuff, all the rot there, isn't there? So I've got to pour some chemicals down there. You can see if I've poured the chemicals down there. Again, there's no sort of reaction to it because it's dry. So I guess I'll just leave it in there. So that's the first one all tied up. Just got to fleece it. I left the chemicals in there to do its thing. I said I don't know if it's too late, but I'll do what I can. I think we will do what we can. So it's number 1 all fleeced up, bundled together. All we do is fingers crossed to see what happens. So that's number 2 done. So that's 2 and 1. I'll leave them wrapped up. Any comments about how long should I wrap them up for? Until all the frost is gone, which could be 3 weeks time, 2 weeks time. I left the peroxide sitting in the hole where the pool was. That one doesn't get the sun. This one here is not in the sun. That one does get the sun. That's south facing. This is sort of like north facing. So what I'm going to try to do with the others that are in pots is do the same thing. So this is one of that was in the pots in the patio. As you can see, it's got the damage on it. I've tried pulling on it gently, and it seems quite firm. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pour the stuff down there and wrap it up and see what happens. So I'll call that cordline number 3. so you can see the damage is there, but it seems to be quite firm. So I'm going to just pour it down there, down the channels, and just see what happens. So if I may call this cordline number 4, it's another one that's in the patio area in pots. As you can see, it's got the damage there, a gentle pull, and nothing's going on. Again, what I do is I'll pour some down there, wrap it up. I've wrapped up the cordline number 3, so I've got to do the same thing here. So with what I've called cordline 3 and 4, they're now in this big sort of builder's bag, and the 2 new ones that I got last week, they're underneath there. So cordline 3 and 4, although there's no pull on it, I just put the peroxide down in it anyway, and both of them let them sit and see what happens. So that's the 1, 2, and 3 and 4. So they're really tall ones actually. So yeah, so I put the peroxide down it, although there was no shear pull as such, but you can see that the damage was there. So I let it sit with that chemicals in it, and with this cover on it. It is under sort of a canopy. But saying that, I had a couple of I had a Torpe Dazzler that's under canopy, and that really got damaged, which I've now wrapped and put somewhere else. So yeah, so that's that. I don't know. I'll repeat myself now, as the horse bolted. I just noticed today is that my last standing redstar in the middle looks like it's taken a hit. So nothing's pulling. Again, I'll put some peroxide down there to see what happens, and I'm going to wrap this up. Well, I've got another one of these bags actually. I've run out of fleece now. So I put it under the canopy as well. It's the last redstar I got that's standing, so I'll see if I can save that and see what happens. So the redstar is covered up. So it's handy to have these big bags that are left over from the gravel. The other one there, the fleece, that's the Canarian date palm that I had underneath there. So it's got double. I also found this very large fleece bag. I must have ordered that ages ago. So I've just got my 2 larger canary date palms in the one bag under the canopy. Might as well use it while I've got it. The rest, the little Fortunei looks okay. The other Chamaerops looks okay. But it's just the next few days the temperature's going to go minus, so I'm just trying to do the best I can. It'd be great if any comments, any experienced guys or girls tell me that it may survive, it may not anything. I know I've got to wait till the spring to see if everything comes back, but I had the time today and the motivation. I ordered the peroxide anyway. In fact, I finished 500 ml. 500 ml was taken up today with everything. So there we go. Any comments are very, very appreciated. Thank you very much.